This is Partycrashers on Reaper 1. This is another quest that's above average difficulty, but this one I think you could try on Reaper. The main problem here is going to be the knockdown. There's quite a few things that knock you down in the giant, the area where the giant and the marks are, and that's quite frankly probably the biggest challenge in this quest. But I think you could probably handle this quest on Reaper. But certainly, if you try it and fail and get frustrated, it's an above average difficulty quest. So I don't think there's anything wrong with just
The
calling
air
it.
in the
And
illusionarium is
all right, let's
different than
focus on this
outside,
guy.
as if you were transported into the deep jungle of Zen.
You can see the knockdown here, but
By House VR.
not as
It is
bad here as other spots. If we get a couple Reapers though, this could be, anytime you're knocked down and you get some Reapers, it's pretty tough. So hopefully we won't get too many Reapers when we're getting knocked down. Alright, once we got those guys down, we can just take this mark. My DPS with the bow is not bad, but I can't reach that with a sword, so there's just no choice. You can see the yellow number. These marks have damage reduction adamantine. I have an adamantine sword, which you can see here, or a great axe. I'm going to probably go ahead and try that in the marks. It also has force damage, which should be good here, better than my Vorpal sword. So I do a little more damage with my sword because of the favored status. Favored weapon status, but this breaks the DR, so I'm going to go ahead and try this one for these marks.
The way deeper into the illusionarium is open. The air suddenly shifts from tropical heat to bitter cold. It is as if you were teleported leagues away, rather than just having walked a few feet.
And once the mark's down, all the enemies go down.
These arches have signal crystals attached on top. Are they simply decorative? With House Fiarlan, one can't tell.
I'm going to go ahead and switch to my disable goggles here so I don't blow up the trap. I think I'd be okay, but I'll take a chance. Oh no, illusory chains. That's a bummer. Well, I guess I'll fight this guy first by process of elimination here. So I got those chains. Also champion. So now we could fight the mark. Kind of annoying, as you can see. I don't know what the slowdown rate is. It feels like 90%, but the attack speed's okay. It's just the movement speed.
Though you can see the rest of Stormreach through the skylights above, the light from outside does not reach this room. The only illumination comes from phosphorescent
These
mushrooms.
little things mostly, other than the sound and the look, behave mostly like bats. So I think they're really bats coded as these illusory sprites. But anyways, we just focus on the mark. But the good news is they go down really, really quick. That guy, the champion, is probably the hardest hit of all of them. Two guys, wow. There's two guys here. Alright. And we got a champion chest. And I might as well use this since my hireling can't use this, I might as well give myself a divine might and use this. I'm gonna park my hireling right here. I'm gonna search for this trap. And then this next part, there's a bunch of marks. They're mostly fake, but one is real. And if you have true seeing, you can see which one's real. So I'm gonna, I already have my voice of the master on. I'm gonna add my Mantle of the World Shaper. And then there's also these random traps. So I'm gonna go right about here and just shoot this once.
The Mark of Shadow created copies of itself.
The one that's yellow
they must be illusions.
is the one that's
Only
real.
destroying the real one will end this death trap.
Where is the yellow one? Maybe a little bit. Oh, there it is. Kind of blended in with the background a little bit, so I almost didn't notice it. And I don't think that, well, these traps will mainly kill you if you move in them, but I think when they spawn over you, they might do, I don't know, 80 damage, 100 damage, but that's about it. So as long as you don't move, you should be fine with those traps. And the hireling, of course, will, will move. Well, there you see 132. So I'm going to give myself a lay on hands. A couple lay on hands. There, just so I don't take another 132 and die.
That must have been the real
Alright,
mark.
now we can call the hireling in.
illusionary ones have disappeared, as well as the barrier into the next chamber. Unlike the previous room, this place feels like it's baked in sun. It's surprising that anything could live here. That scorpion completely enveloped the Mark of Shadow. You will need to destroy it in order to get at the mark.
Once the scorpion's down, the guy
the
dies.
destruction
So
of this
we focus on the
make-believe
scorpion.
scorpion has also extinguished the Mark of Shadow. The illusionary barrier is gone.
Alright, so we're going to shrine up here because we're not going to come back here, and the hireling used about 300 points, and this next part is the toughest. If we're going to wipe, this is the part we would wipe it. And that's why I say it's an above average difficulty quest, only because of this next part. We're going to do a few things that will make it easier. The way this next part works is there's a giant and then an illusory guard that come out and attack you when you enter. And there's 4 marks, and the giant has regeneration, a pretty good regeneration until those marks are down. But I believe we can kill this giant before we get the marks down. I believe we can kill him even with the regeneration, so we're going to do that. And also we're going to fight this guard on his own just to make it a little bit easier. The giant has knockdown, that's what makes him a little bit tough. Particularly if a Reaper spawns. If a Reaper spawns, it could be death. We might almost want to try to run back in here. If we can, I'm not even sure if we can run back in here. It could be near a shrine. But I just approached that gate but didn't go through it. And that's so that we could fight this guy one-on-one before we fight the Reaper, or the giant. And the giant can't get to us in here, so.
The marks of shadow around
As you can see how much spell points the hireling's already used up.
Giant's health.
Alright, so let's go through. I'm going to use all my buffs. Ooh, knockdown already. So this knockdown and regeneration is what makes it tough, because as long as I'm doing DPS, I can take him down pretty quick. But he regenerates, and then with the knockdown on top of it. So you can see he just regenerated quite a bit there. Alright, we got him down. That's good. So there's 4 marks. They each have a different thing, and this one is just simply it does it does those chains, you know, binding chains, which slows down. It looks like it is slowing down my attack speed too, but once they're gone, or once the mark's gone, it will stop casting chains on me. It actually spams this spell. That's all it really does, is spam this cell. And you can see I'm making my save. Oh man, I missed it on the very last try, so now we have to wait this one out. Okay, there we go. But kind of interesting, you know. And then this next fight is, there's 2 tough ones here. This is one of them, although the last one is the absolute toughest. All right, I just need to take this down fast. These werewolves do a lot of cold damage. I have my cloak that does a lot of cold. There we go. I have my cloak that does a lot of cold protection, so that helps. It's a little low level at this point, but not too bad. All right, let me use my wand since I've renewed my wands. All right, this next one's pretty easy. It just is a trapped mark, so you don't want to get near it. So I'm going to park my hireling kind of near me here, and then just use my bow on it. So I go up to about here, this top step, keep the hireling in place, and then just use my bow on it. So it's slow, but I mean, with the bow, but and we could probably survive the trap, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the bow anyways. It's good form to do that. As long as the hireling doesn't follow us in and die, then we could always have the hireling raise us if we die in the trap. But I tend to be pretty conservative, be pretty careful if I can. All right, so that's it. This next mark, if one is going to kill us, it's this next one. So I'm going to renew my buffs. I'm going to go in there with my both my haste potion and my cookie, and these guys knock down. So let's first of all bring the hireling over. Oh, Reaper, two Reapers. So we're getting lag. All right, so the hireling's here. So I'm gonna run over and have the hireling raise me before they get to him. Alright, and now we're going to see if we can run back here. I'm going to get my Expeditious Retreats boots on, because these guys run fast. I think once this giant's here, down, I think we can get back in here. Reapers. Ah, boy. Alright, so I'm going to try to get closer to the shrine because, well, we're going to need it. So like I said, that's the toughest part, and I always get Reapers there. So let's bring the hireling here now. Have him heal me. Alright, now we're going to fight these guys, and we're close to the shrine, so if we die, we die, but we can get them. Alright. Alright, so wasn't pretty, but we got past it. And like I said, that's the toughest part right there of this whole quest. The good news is I don't think the Reapers will respawn, and that was kind of bad. Well, I shouldn't say it's bad luck. That seems like it happens every time. Alright, so I'm going to get this one guy here by himself. Alright, got him. Yeah, Ooh, hireling. Alright, so I'm going to run back in here again. Get the hireling. So those guys are pretty tough by themselves, but then you add the Reapers, it's even tougher. So I'm going to wand her. Alright, so let's just go in again. Kind of guns a-blazing and try it again. Knockdown immunity is really, really awesome in this game. Alright, so we can get a couple of them at a time here and get less knockdown. Here's the guy that's really giving us trouble. This champion. Whoops. Alright, so almost got it. Let's just go back in here. The hireling's not healing us. Those guys won't go past this barrier, which is nice. Let me get healed up. Alright, one more time. Now hopefully they won't respawn, because that gives a chance for Reapers to respawn also. Alright. Now let's quickly run here and kill this mark before before anything respawns. So we got it almost down before those two Reapers came up. Here they go, respawn, and chance for Reapers. Let's just get them quick. Alright.
You run through the gauntlet of House Fiarlan's illusionary.
The good news is that's the
But
toughest part of the quest. What made that tough was the two Reaper spawns. You can see what we did is basically once I kept my hireling parked away intentionally there so that if I died I could run back to him. He wouldn't have saved me. Those Reapers would have killed both of us, so that was kind of the tactic there, keeping him near the next mark, having him raise me and then run, basically. So that's what I do every time in there, and then it gives me a mulligan if for some reason a couple Reapers spawn like they did, I get knocked down and die. I can just run back, raise myself, run behind the barrier,
the Fiarlan
close to the shrines,
must have been closed
so that
as
even
a
if the Reapers
precaution
kill me,
during
I
the
can
Grand
raise
Gala.
myself.
The ballroom is on the far side of the chapter
Those
house,
are the kind of,
and it seems rather
for tougher
unlikely
quests like
that
this,
House next to the security
it's good to come
gates,
up with
a large
tactics
dragon
like
mark
that. You'll
of
probably
shadow
come up
is
with your own
embedded into the wall.
tactics, ideas
If it were to activate,
that
you
will
would not be able
that
to
will work
destroy
good.
it,
Things
as
I
you
didn't
did
even
with
think
the
of.
marks
So,
in the Illusionarium.
but that's kind of how that's kind of what you do with some kind of difficult content. Is there's nothing I could do about the knockdown. There's I could go for a high reflex save, a high save, high balance,
The
all
Chapter
those
House
things.
Theatre normally hosts stage plays for Fiarlan's
Even
elite
knockdown
patrons.
immunity isn't 100% guarantee.
It looks
you
like
won't
its
get knocked
shows
down.
are on hold during the Grand Gala.
But all you can do is just give yourself a better chance. All right, so I keep forgetting to get jump potions for this, but I think part of it is I didn't really need them last time, so I'm going to give myself a potion and a human boost. So that's giving me +8. That's giving me almost as much as a jump potion. All right, we made it. I think I missed a shrine, but that's okay. Here's the shrine I was thinking of. Getting a little bit of lag. Hopefully after we survive that fight, it's not going to lag out on me. I don't really generally have a lot of problems in this game with lag. Some people have more problems, I think, because of network issues. I mean, just, there is a little bit, you get these little lag spikes here and there, but I haven't had very little crushing lag. There's like one quest, or one raid in the game that does have that problem, and but other than that, I really have not had too much of a problem with lag.
The illusions in this display hall don't appear to be interactive like the ones in the Illusionarium. They probably won't attack you. Hopefully.
So I'm hoping my skill checks are going to be enough. They were on normal and hard, but Elite and Reaper's a different story. All right, so this part I'm going to park my hireling and make sure he doesn't activate anything, and then make sure I've got my feather fall on. Yep, got my feather fall on, and then as long as you feather fall into this little hallway, you won't activate the guards. That little pathway there. All right, so
You
once we're in
finally
here,
reach the House Fiarlan Grand Gala. Now, to find the guest list and add Cyan's name.
add my name, add Cyan's name, and then you can see Cyan kind of start walking in. And then I'm going to get my True Seeing on first. I already have it on from the last fight.
The party guest here seems like a harmless old elf. These
All right,
guards
so
are
we get
supposed
my
to protect the
heroism.
Grand Gala, but they
get
only
my-
have eyes for the old elf.
I'm going to get my
They are
diplomacy belt
obviously
on
not
and
in
get
their
my
right
skill
mind.
check. Yeah,
Would they
and
be
then try
under a
diplomacy check.
carnival spell?
Success. And then I'm going to
The
get
party
my...
guest here seems like a harmless old elf, but that facade does not fool you. You easily see through to the malicious tiefling underneath.
bluff in. I'll get my let my skill check. Let's see if I can bluff him here. Success. All right. So now I get my regular fighting gear back on. And necklace. I don't know if he has death spells, but last time I used that bluff, I forgot to do it and I got killed by a death spell. So it's good to remember to get your gear swaps back when you're done. Champion, so that might mean we'll get a regular chest plus a chance at a champ chest.
Anyone under his evil mental control has been set free.
There is a champ chest. Good deal. Ooh, a keen heavy repeater. Nice. That might actually sell in the auction house. All right, now I'm going to get my True Seeing gear back on. And I'm going to just walk around by all these drink servers, the waiters, waitresses, until I get a True Seeing check that I found the Poison Master.
One of the drink servers looks like an elf,
and let me get my
but you see through her disguise
left belt
to
on.
the glowing red eyes of her true tiefling form.
Here's my check and bluff. All right, success. Good deal. So get my regular necklace back on, regular foot back on, and then she's going to meet me here in this library.
Nigris's death was much cleaner than the one she had planned for her victims. Cyan should be able to find an antidote for any poison the party guests have already imbibed.
That's actually not a bad caster item for level 6. I might try to vendor that one, but I think the repeater is more likely to sell than the goggles. Wand of Web. Okay, I can maybe use that when I run the... have to see what my chances are, but when we run the Stealthy Repossession quest, that might be the way that we deal with all these kobolds chasing us. Of course, we'll be a high level, so we probably don't really need to worry about it and just run right through them. And I'm going to show you the easy way to do this, which is to fight just one enemy. First, we have to pick the lock. I'm going to try it without a pick lock item and just see how I do and what my role is. All right, 14 success. So, yeah, we even put ranks into. I'm going to put my hireling back here. and then put my true seeing gear on, and then you could bluff. That's
You
the
see the
tradition.
aura of a
And then you do
powerful
true seeing,
illusion around this guard.
and then he'll
He's
transform.
not an elf at all. His glowing. There are tieflings
And
in these rooms,
then we're gonna
poised to
pull him
strike at the
back
ball.
here. Good, let's get the hireling here. All right, he's down. So we don't have to fight all those other tieflings in the back. That's the only guy we have to get down to avoid the fight. Now we just go to Cyan and say, yes, let's leave him for now. All right. Done. All right, so now we just, easiest end fight ever, because we did all those skill checks. All we have to do is just watch the show. I always get concerned that they're going to change that, and I'm going to get surprised and have an end fight because I don't get all the tieflings in the back room, just the boss. But yeah, so I mean that's always worked for me. So worked for me and also in normal and hard. So I doubt there'd be any change there. All right, and because we ran it on Elite, and I'm not sure if it's because we did the optional bluffing and such, but I think it's just because we ran it on Elite, we get all these things. All right, first item we get a Falaran Mirror Cloak. We really aren't set up for stealth, but this might actually help us. Plus spell resistance 17 at this level is pretty amazing. So this would stop hold spells. So if we're going in somewhere where we're getting hold spells, sonic burst, all of that has a spell resistance check, and this could give us a good chance of succeeding. So this is a keeper. We're going to keep this item and stick it in our inventory and on our hotbar. Next item is this. We're not going to do this optional on Reaper. There is a devil that you could fight, and it's pretty tough. Okay, we got 2 Falaran Mirror Cloaks. Is it exclusive? It's not exclusive, but we really don't need a second, so we'll grab it and sell the second one. That's the nice thing about running this on Elite is you get a higher drop rate. I mean, you get a much, like I think, a quadruple drop rate, and then you get 3 chests, so you get 12 times the drop rate on Elite. Really, really nice. So let's get the end reward. And you know, this is a tougher quest. Really, that one part is tough, and you saw it. At least for me, I always get Reapers there. I don't know if it's, I don't know what the reason is, but that's the toughest part with all that knockdown, and that's where the Reapers always spawn, at least for me. But we survived it, and if we failed, we just go back in and try again. Unfortunately, you do get a little bit of, it is a little bit of, especially until we get our hit points up. Right now, we're only at 3 Reaper points, so that's giving us 34 hit points bonus, 24 for the 3 points spent, and 10 for the core. A lot of, sometimes people might be coming in here with over 100 hit points, so extra. So that's going to really help getting more hit points. We can survive those type of knockdown Reaper encounters easier. Anyhow, we survived it, and this is Party Crashers. This is Party Crashers Reaper 1.